today is Communion Sunday and we are making kale and chickpeas. Now, I know it sounds like it doesn't go together, but I'm telling y'all this is one of my favorite dishes. Like, I make this almost every week now. So, a couple of things about these two vegetables, okay? So, chickpeas, which this is what a chickpea look like if you've never seen one. They're also called garbanzo beans, okay? They usually have a distinct little line that goes through them, but kind of like a booty, basically. But they are what's called a legume. So your beans and lentils and peanuts, all of those are legumes. Okay, so that's what it's in the legume family. Then you have kale, which is considered a superfood because it is a green that's rich in a lot of nutrients and vitamins and fiber. You know, the good for you fiber. So both of these together, it's like putting two superfoods together. Okay, so between the two of them, you're going to get fiber. You're going to help with lowering cholesterol, help with lowering regulating your blood sugars, regulating your blood pressure. Like both of these together, because you're going to get fiber, you get almost 20 grams of protein, you get magnesium, manganese, zinc, iron, potassium. Like you get all these lists of nutrients and benefits just out of these two vegetables. Okay, and so like I said, anytime you do the vegetables, there's just certain things that are going to happen just because you're eating them. So it's going to lower your risk of cancer because of the cancer fighting properties, and again going back to the cholesterol, your blood pressure, like all these things happen just from eating vegetables. And then because of the amount of fiber that's in both of them, they're good for your gut health. Okay, and y'all know I'm big on gut health because if stuff can't get moving, that's where the toxins and stuff settle in your body, and that starts to cause dis-ease and discomfort. Okay, so these are chickpeas that I have made because I've been using a lot of chickpeas. So I made a big old batch of them. I'm not using all of this. I'm only going to be using a little bit. So let me get my spoon because I thought I had a spoon right there. But we're going to get started with making this delicious, nutritious meal. Y'all know I'm bad about that. Every single time I do one of these videos, I forget something. But we're going to do this nutritious, delicious meal. And what we're going to start out with is we're going to start with the chickpeas first. And then we're going to take those out, and then we're going to do the kale. So, and then mix it all up together. So what I'm going to do is I'm pause this for a second. I'm going to bring you in, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so we're back. Y'all know I always start out with some garlic and some onion. So that's just what I'm going to add to the pan now. I don't measure because, you know, it's better that way. You're making this for you and your taste buds and how you want it to be. Okay, so I'm just going to saute this up a little. And then once we get this started, we'll put the chickpeas in there. And as you can see, I didn't really add any oil, and I'm using a cast iron pan because it's going to add more iron to this. Also, one of the things I forgot to mention too is that with kale, you also get some omega-3s in there as well with the kale. So that's another benefit for it. But this is a pretty much, you can kind of, I guess it's, I don't know if it's considered high protein or not. I would, because like I said, it's almost 20 grams of protein in between a cup of chickpeas and a cup of kale. So this is very nutritious. Very good for you. So that's good enough. I'm going to add some chickpeas to it. And like I said, these are chickpeas that I made in the Instant Pot. Or you can get the canned ones. And just make sure that you rinse them off really well. And you can save the water. The water you can use that's in the chickpeas is called aquafaba. And you can use it for other dishes. So I'm seasoning this with just a little bit of Himalayan salt. I don't even think that's a teaspoon. I have a little bit of some chickpea miso. I'll just throw that in there. Y'all, my chickpea miso keep drying up on me. I have some mushroom powder. I love the mushroom powder. It's one of my staples now. It adds such a, I guess they call it that umami flavor, where it's very savory. And you're going to season this to your liking. Okay, so use the seasonings you like. I just put some turmeric on there, some cayenne pepper, of course my garlic powder. Love garlic. I know Dr. Savy don't like it, but shit, I love it. I love it. And some onion powder. I have some basil, and this is out of my garden. So I'm putting some basil in here. And then I forgot the black pepper. But again, like I said, you're going to do this to your liking, your taste. Because this is for you and your family, your household. Huh. Okay, so my son has, oh, here it is. Okay. And some black pepper. I was about to blame my child. I still blame him because I had something that was already done. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It gets the job done, right? Okay, so you're just going to saute this for a little while. If you're not watching your oil intake, you can add more oil if you like. I'm trying to be careful with how much oil I'm using. So I'm trying not to add nothing. Sorry about that. I told y'all I always forget something. So I try not to add any oil to the pan. So this is all done now, so I'm taking it out. And now in this very same pan, we're going to add some kale and cook the kale. But I'm going to show y'all water sauteing, because instead of adding some oil to this, which you could do if you don't care, you can add oil. I'm going to add water because oil is empty calories. Okay? So I'm going to get a little bit of water and use that to kind of deglaze the pan. And then we're going to throw in some chopped up kale. And then use what's in here to kind of season it. You can also even squeeze some lemon juice in here. I've done that before too because it adds a different flavor. Now, we're going to season again. Okay? I'm not going to do the miso because my miso, like I said, is drying up, so it won't sprinkle. But that's the mushroom powder. We got some turmeric, the cayenne, the basil. I did a video on basil too, so if you want to know the benefits of that, you can watch that video. But basil is really, really good for you. Yep, and that's onion powder. What I forget? Some black pepper. And then just a touch of Himalayan salt. And I use the pink salt because it has a lot of minerals in it its own self. So see how this is drying up a little? All you do is just add a little more water. Get some more water. Okay, so add a little bit more water. And we're just going to cook this until this wilts down to your liking. For me, it doesn't necessarily have to be completely down. It's okay if it has a little chew or even a little crunch to me. So this is almost good. And then too, it'll continue cooking too, especially if you're using a cast iron. It'll continue to cook some once you take this out. So probably should have used some more kale, which I'll probably add to it later. So I'm only going to put a little bit. I'm not going to use all those chickpeas because it's not enough kale. Okay, and then you put it all together like so, like this. As Tabitha Brown always saying. Like so, like that. That's what she say. And like I said, you can put squeeze some lemon juice on here if you want. That works, makes it taste good. So I'm gonna turn this fire off. Let me take this out. And that's the other thing. You saw I didn't use a whole lot of salt because that's another thing, trying to decrease my salt intake. Another thing you can use instead if you want is soy sauce for more umami flavor. Like I said, they call that. But this is it. All right, so I'm gonna pause this, gonna set you back up so you can see what I'm doing. So now we are back, and then this is the final product of what you have. See? There we go. There's that focus. Okay, so you see it's still steaming hot. Y'all, this is one of my favorites, I'm telling you. Okay. So then you just want to make sure you get a little bit of kale and some of the chickpeas. And it's just like the flavor of all of it together. It's so good. You can even eat some rice with this if you want. It's even good cold. I've taken it straight out the refrigerator and eaten it. But it's so good. It's so flavorful. Like, this is one of my staples, one of my favorites now. I love it. I recommend you make it. If you do, let me know. Show me pictures, because, like I said, this is one of my favorites. So, one of the reasons I made so many chickpeas is, one, for this dish, and two, chickpea salad. I love chickpea salad, and I think I did a video on that before. I'm pretty sure I did a video on that, because I know I posted it on Instagram before, but I'm pretty sure I did a video on here, so I'll probably attach it at the end. But chickpeas are wonderful. Once you get used to how they taste and the texture of them, you'll find that they're very flavorful in a lot of dishes. So one of the other dishes I wanted to try to make was a curry dish, curry chickpeas. So, but the things I try to keep in the refrigerator on hand for myself is this chickpea and kale salad, as well as the chickpea salad, where it's basically you're mashing up the chickpeas and then you're mixing them up kind of like you would tuna fish. Okay, so same ingredients you would use in tuna fish is what you use in the mashed up chickpeas. If you're not familiar with chickpeas, hummus. Most people know what hummus is. Hummus is made out of chickpeas. Chickpeas are also called garbanzo beans. But like I said, hummus is made out of it. Trying to think of some other things that you may be familiar with the chickpeas outside, but I think hummus is really the one that everybody knows. And there's even ways of doing that. So some of the things I do plan on making and doing with this is, like, I'm gonna make some more of this because I got some kale that just has to be cleaned up. But I'm gonna make some more of this, so I have a batch of this in the refrigerator. I'm gonna make up some chickpea salad, so I have that in the refrigerator. And I think I will make up some hummus because I have some garlic paste in there. But yeah, that's just, you saw how easy it was. You saw how quick it was. It didn't take any time. I did barely, the only editing I did in this video was just the little in-between breaks as I'm switching back and forth. Outside of that, you saw how easy it was to make and how long it took. But like I said, try it because it is one of my favorite dishes, and you get so many nutrients out of it. So much for what you need out of the day. So just eating this alone can boost the nutrient content in your diet. Just having a serving of this every day. And it's very versatile. I've had it with, yeah, I think I did eat it with that. So with my jackfruit loaf, I made a mock meatloaf, but I used jackfruit, and I had it with this. I think I had this dish with it. I've eaten it with rice before. I mean, like, it's so versatile. I eat it by itself, and like I said, it's even good cold. Okay, you can eat it cold, straight out the refrigerator. It's still good. So just try it and tell me what you think about it. Okay, and if you do make it, tag me in it. I want to see. I want to see what you did. All right, that's it for today. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.